Hey there, welcome back. Now, perhaps you have heard or seen advertisements for pills, serums, and treatments to turn gray hair back to its natural dark state. So if you've been looking for the truth and nothing but the truth on reversing gray hair with serums and supplements, I spent 6 months testing these out for you. This is definitely a video you want to watch. But before we dive into all that, if you happen to be new to me and my channel, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert, esthetician of 38 years, helping folks like you find skincare and other care solutions that will help you without wasting your money and doing you more harm than good. So if that's the kind of content you've been looking for here on YouTube, I definitely hope you'll stick around and subscribe. So let's dive into this. Hair becoming gray, a natural phenomenon process that's going to happen to most everyone. But there are a few people genetically predisposed to not ever get much gray hair. That runs in my family. It's one reason I don't have a lot, although it's in there. You can see them if you see me in person, but on camera with the lights, they don't show very much. But even my own dad and grandfather both, very little gray just on the temples. And of course, I would have that gray on the temples myself if I didn't take care of that. And I'll tell you how I do that in a few minutes. But it is a natural process that's going to happen. Some people own their gray hair and feel wonderful about it, and I applaud them. Some people look absolutely fabulous with that silver mane, but more often than not, most people would like to keep some color in their hair. And again, it makes total sense. Everyone wants to look good and feel good about how they look. So no matter what your choice is, here's the truth about what goes on with these supplements and these serums. First of all, there is no scientifically proven, verified, FDA-approved way to reverse gray hair from a biological process. However, premature gray hair caused by medications, nutritional deficiencies, and stress all can actually be reversed. And there are some peptide serums that can actually help at the root of the hair to add color to the hair follicle and shaft as it grows so that it appears that you are regrowing darker hair, even though it's not being produced at the root or cellular level. And of course, the most common thing that causes premature gray hair is high cortisol levels caused by stress. That stress creates inflammation in the hair follicle. It creates inflammation everywhere in your body. But when it comes to hair, that inflammation actually can choke off nutrients and oxygen your hair needs to grow properly and with its full color. And it also disrupts the very melanin production that you would be looking for in order to keep your hair dark. And that's why people who go through extremely stressful situations can literally have their hair go white what seems like overnight. Again, the good news there is that is usually somewhat to completely reversible with proper nutrition and stress management techniques. All right, so let's talk about the pills or supplements first, the very trendy ones like this one from Hims. And I'm not picking on Hims as a brand, and actually it's a great brand that is very helpful for a lot of people in a lot of different areas of their health. However, they do market a product that contains catalase, which is supposed to help reverse the graying process in your hair. Now, as I said earlier, I've spent over 6 months investigating and testing these types of products out. And unfortunately, even for catalase, there is no solid scientific evidence that backs the fact that it helps gray hair to return to its natural color. Now, while catalase is an enzyme that helps break down hydrogen peroxide molecules, which can accumulate in some cases and lead to lightening and graying of hair, and the fact that as we age, our natural catalase levels decrease, the theory would be that that would work. But there is fully a complete lack of scientific evidence to back up that that is the case, that it can prevent or reverse gray hair. Now, there are testimonials for this product that say it works. So again, across the spectrum of people that use these type of products, you're going to have individuals where these things work because of specialized circumstances. But overall, a supplement as we know them today does not reverse gray hair back to its natural color, does not change that process, that biological process back. So what about peptide serums or peptide complexes to help reactivate the melanin process in hair growth? Well, some of these products, some of these serums contain plant extracts and adaptogens that help reduce the stress levels around the hair follicle and enhance the melanin production process and can actually lead to a darkening of the hair. One such product that I tested is this anti-gray serum by Particle. Particle is a skincare brand. I've actually reviewed this brand on the channel before with products geared toward men. So they developed a serum that can be used in both the hair and the beard, which I've been testing out. These serums also contain ingredients that help turn the hair follicle darker as it grows. Part of that process I talked about before, that's not actually reversing the process of hair becoming gray, but adding color to the hair follicle itself, which gives a gradual darkening of the gray hair and helping it to blend in to other hair that's already darker. And generally, in 8 to 10 weeks, they say you should see a difference. It took about 7 weeks for me to actually really notice it in my beard first and then on my temples later. Not a hair dye or tint, but a product that takes a twofold approach to helping to turn gray hair darker. Now, in no way, shape, or form did it change my gray hairs that I do have back to their fully dark color, but dark enough that they really blend in where you don't notice them at all. And even these peptide serums aren't going to work well for everyone. It really is trial and error on your part when you try them to see if it's going to be of help or not. You have to be very, very consistent. You have to use them for at least 90 days to begin to see a difference, truly that long to see the complete effect. But as I said, like most people, about 7 weeks, I started to notice that the hair was much darker that was coming in than it had been before. Again, these type of serums work better for people who have less than 50% gray hair. People like me, I have anywhere near 50% gray hair. Probably would get some results, but they're not going to be as dramatic because these type of serums are simply darkening the hair follicles that were gray, helping them to better match your original hair color. Now, if you found today's brutally truthful and honest video on reversing gray hair helpful, if you did, please like it, share it out, let me know in the comments below. Now, of course, as always, I'll put a link down below in the video description box so you can go read about Particle and have a couple of other recommendations if you're interested in using these peptides or shampoos that can help darken gray hair as it grows in so that it blends more naturally with your own hair color. All of that down below as usual. As I said, if you decide to use any of these, please come back to the video and let us all know how they worked for you. And for even more ways to roll back the clock on skin and body aging, be sure to check out this video that I checked out for you next. Thank you, as always, for supporting my work and watching today. I appreciate you. Stay beautiful. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you over on that next video.